words. I am your host, Mark Vargas, joining you live here in studio. And for those of you watching, we've multiplied here in studio because we've got two very special guests who are joining me. A man who needs no introduction, Mr. Steve Balich, who Will County board member and Republican leader, Homer Township Republican chair, and Homer Township supervisor, Steve Balich. Once again, Steve, thanks for hanging out with me
Thanks for having me.
It is my honor. And the vice chair of Homer Republicans, Jay Roti. And Jay, I'm missing another title. You've got another title. Is that right?
Well, I'm the vice chair of the HTRO, the Homer Township Republican Organization, but I'm also up for election for city council in the village of Homer Glen for trustee this year.
And a candidate. And we've got so much to talk about this hour. But, you know, we know how, and I'll start out by saying this, we know how important school board races are coming up. And we need to make sure that the candidates get as much airtime as they can. So we're going to take a brief pause at 8:35 and 8:45, and we're going to have a couple of school board candidates call in briefly to tell us about their campaigns, because I think it's absolutely essential. And I want to open the invitation for you that if there's candidates that you want to get some airtime on the show, more than I'd be honored to have them on this show. Because it's so important. These races are incredibly important, and the work that you all are doing is incredibly important. And I want to start off, Steve. You've got a Lincoln Day dinner, February 25th, coming up this week, February 25th at 6 p.m. Give us an update on that, Steve.
It's going to be at Palos Country Club, and that's 13100 Southwest Highway in Palos, and I tell you what, it's going to be absolutely great. Amy Jacobson's going to be there, and our friend Scott is going to be there.
That's right.
And we've got Father Tom Loya. He'll be speaking. Debbie Colitis from Moms for America. And then we have a bunch of our candidates that are running in the local elections and the leadership from HTRO. And that's a real important thing because HTRO is now, in my opinion, the backbone to Will County. Without us, Will County isn't going to carry the Republican Party because we actually have tentacles going all over the place. We just went into Lockport to support Lockport School District people. And we're doing all of ours. And we're looking at Lincoln Day at Palos. That's in Cook County. It's not even in Will because we outgrew Will County.
Wow.
We have to have somewhere bigger. So I happen to be friends with Pat O'Malley, and he has some ways to get me some good prices. And so we got a good deal there, and we're going to have a real good event. Everyone's going to have a great time. When you hear Amy, everyone knows her from the show, and she's a sweetheart. Everyone loves her. Then you got Father Tom Loya. When he talks, everyone just starts listening because he has a way of getting into your head and making you really think. You know, and when you get me, Scott, Jay, Ruben Pasmino from Homer Glen, he's also a candidate. He owns Ruby Gave, and Christina MC, but actually her name's Clausen. She has Illinois Patriots.
That's
I
right.
think everybody knows her.
Fantastic group.
Christina MC. I mean, she's a real whirlwind.
A great page. I mean, the quality of Republicans that you have coming out of your organization is unbelievable.
Yeah, we had Dan Pialco, Jennifer Consolino. Am I forgetting somebody?
Oh, Rose Reinder.
Rose Reinder. Oh my God, Rosie she owns Taza. She's running for mayor against unqualified individual that thinks she could win. I have to hold myself back a little bit, but
that's all right.
Anyway, Rose is the candidate for mayor in Homer Glen because she has experience over 25 years in government. She's a current trustee, and she gets it. The other person's been a clerk and didn't accomplish nothing. So you compared it to us like night and day. You put it on a scale, and the scale goes way up with Rose. So that's important. And
Almost like putting Pritzker on a scale.
no, then you're a little
way up.
If that happens, forget about it, right? but it's such an interesting dynamic because when we did our bylaws and stuff, I had them change the bylaws to say that I'm the chairman, and I said, well, I can't do it myself anymore because it's too big. We have 488 people now on our email list as of today when you got the two more. So Jay's the vice chair, and then we have a co-chair, Ruben Pasmino, and we're all equal. So we all take different aspects of elections, and we all work it the best we can, and that makes a difference. But we're about addition. So when we start saying we got the school board people, we got the libraries, we got candidates, we got the city council. When you do that, plus the candidates that, like me and Jim Richmond, we were the county board candidates last time. So we got all of our groups together. That's a lot. We're all standing together, and we're all working as a unison to win. So just a city council for our opponents, they got a handful of people going out to help them. We've got an army. So we're going to get the vote out. And that's how we won in the past so much, because we have an army of people that want to win, and we're all conservative Republicans. And Jay's group, We the People, Illinois.
We the parents.
We the parents. I keep saying the wrong thing all the time.
It's easy.
But
It's
they vetted every single candidate, and they had to be conservative in order to be running. And I know before I see the clock, I better not talk so much, but I'll give you a real good one. I go to the high school board, and the superintendent there, in my mind, is a socialist or communist or whatever you want to call him. And he's raising the taxes to 6.44. And, I'm complaining about that. And I told him, I says, you know what, maybe Homer Township should get their own high school. And, it's been tried before. And I told him, but I'm going to do more than try. I'm going to get it done. So I called up our state senator and talked with him about it, gave me some ideas as possible, talked to other people. And we have like 3 different ways we could probably pull it off. And I'm trying to figure it out so that it doesn't cost any money, because I don't believe in raising taxes. But it's a good possibility we can pull it off.
Good. Well, if anyone can, you can. And I can tell you're a busy man because I can hear your phone going off. Is that you? You've got the train?
I should turn it off.
The train's noise. This is a very popular man, ladies and gentlemen.
It goes all day and all night.
All day and all night. The work of Steve Balich never ends. And this is why these two gentlemen are so successful with their organization. They work day and night. But I'm going to post the Lincoln Day dinner. I'm going to post it on my social media to encourage everybody. February 25th, 2023 this week, 6 p.m. You'll get all the information. Just go to Mark My Words Facebook page, and I'll put that up there. These are going to be great guests. Jay.
Yes.
I mean, we've got. I mean, I could have you guys in. We could have a 4-hour show.
Yep.
And we would never run out of information. But Jay, it's always good radio to tease a little bit. And as we go down to our countdown, but your wife was at and we've got about a minute, but tease this a little bit, because we're going to play the audio.
Okay.
When we come back from our break.
Okay.
We're going to play the audio. But before we do that, can you just give us about a 45-second tease of what transpired at this and why this audio is so important?
Out by us in Homer Glen, we have School District 92. And on February 7th, they had an open meeting with the superintendent for parents and taxpayers and people to come in to talk about the national sex education standards that they agreed to implement, and for parents to have questions. Now, routinely, I go to these meetings, couldn't make it, but my wife went. Now, 92 is right next to us. We belong to 33C, but it's still in the community of Homer Glen. And we have friends that are running for school board. My wife went, decided to record the meeting for me so that I can view it later on. And as the superintendent was talking, he walked around the room and decided to turn his back to my wife to cover up her camera so she couldn't record. little bit of harassment there.
A little bit of harassment. That's right. And so we're going to play this audio clip coming up shortly. And it is unbelievable, actually. And I'm going to encourage everyone maybe to, if you have a public page, to put that up there because you don't want to miss this. You don't want to miss this video. You're listening to Mark My Words. We'll be right back.
Make sure that you never miss a day of Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson when you subscribe to the Chicago's Morning Answer podcast, presented by Signature Bank. Listen to the entire show each day on demand with limited commercial breaks. You can subscribe today for free at 560theanswer.com and click on podcasts or search for Chicago's Morning Answer on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Balance of Nature's fruits and vegetables in a capsule, changing the world one life at a time.
I'm in the medical field, and I think when you start out these things, everything from the advertisement sounds so good that you're psyched up for it to work. It's working. Anyway, I'm happy.
Balance of Nature has made a big difference. It's just one of the greatest products, and it's just so simple, and it works.
Balance of Nature is a fantastic product. You could tell it's real. You could taste it. And it gives you really good energy, and it's just right up there with rent, electric cable, like things that you have to have. I'm not cutting Balance of Nature. No, I love it.
Start your journey to better health with Balance of Nature right now. Call 1-800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com for more information or to place your order. Shipping is always free. And don't forget to get 35% off your first order as a preferred customer by using discount code Chicago.
Dr. Gorka here, and you know me. I am very cynical about products, especially those that claim to help people suffering from pain. So when I tell you that Relief Factor truly works, I want you to know that I mean it. I suffered from a stiff lower back for almost a decade, one so painful it made it difficult to kneel in church on Sundays. When I finally decided to give Relief Factor a try, I didn't ever imagine that I would find myself free of the pain. But that's what happened. Now I take Relief Factor every day. Almost 70% of the more than 500,000 people who have tried Relief Factor end up ordering more. That's because it works for them the way it worked for me. Isn't it time for you to get out of pain? Your first step to becoming pain-free should be to order the 3-week quick start for the discounted price of only $19.95. Go to relieffactor.com or call 800-4RELIEF to find out more about this offer. Feel the difference.
TV news. It's a love-hate relationship. Well, let's be honest. More hate. We agree. That's why we're different. Salem News Channel has assembled the greatest collection of conservative minds all in one place. Home to Charlie Kirk, Hugh Hewitt, Eric Metaxas, and more. There's finally a place on TV for lovers of freedom like you. Watch anytime, on any screen, free 24/7. Find what you're looking for at snc.tv. That's snc.tv.
You can't live forever, but your legacy can. At Catholic Cemeteries of Chicago, they've helped families set their legacies in stone for over 180 years. With interest-free financing and low monthly payments, now is the time to set your final wishes in place. Visit CatholicCemeteryChicago.org or call 708-236-5490 today to schedule a free consultation.
This is Mark My Words with Mark Vargas on AM 560. The Answer. Here's your host, Mark Vargas.
And welcome back. I am your host, Mark Vargas, and I have two very special guests joining me live here in studio. First is a man who needs no introduction, Mr. Steve Balich, Will County board member and Republican leader, Homer Township Republican chair, and Homer Township supervisor. And next to him is Jay Roti, vice chair of Homer Republicans, and he's a candidate for trustee
For the village.
Gentlemen, Steve, we got an issue with your headset?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. We'll get that fixed. Jay, over to you, my friend. Your wife, we're going to play this clip here real quick, George, and he'll get to you in just a second. Steve, play this clip for us.
But they see your kids, they see what we do every day, they know the kids need something, they get that. I'm well aware that there's lots of social media out there, and everybody likes to kind of put out there what they think is going on, all that kind of stuff. But in the end, we didn't ask for the new sexual health standards to be given to us. We didn't want that. We didn't need it. It was just given to us magically last summer. We weren't excited about it, but we were told at the time. Are you finished?
No, I'm recording. My husband can't make it.
We're going to put all this out later, and I'd be happy to meet with you and your husband.
It's okay. I'm just recording.
Yeah.
I'm allowed to record.
So.
Why do you have an issue?
Unbelievable. And if you have a problem with the volume, there's a little knob by where you plug it in. But Jay, I want everyone to see this again. It's public on your Facebook page. But harassment, intimidation is what comes to mind.
Yeah, listen to the video clip. Doesn't do it the justice. But what had happened was we had about 125 parents there. And they had all come to voice their concerns about the National Sex Educational Standard that 92 is adopting. Now, keep in mind that they are the only district within a 20-mile radius of where we live that actually adopted and started to implement it. And so when they had this open forum, I couldn't make it. Obviously, I've got my own campaign, and we're running now, and I'm helping out at We the Parents Illinois, which are covering about 5 school boards right now in 2 library districts in our area for candidates. And so she went there to record it. When you look at the video, you'll see that he walks around the room and literally rubs up on my wife into her phone. And she was just standing there quiet. In fact, I'll get you some pictures, but we have other people that were there that took side pictures so you can actually see.
Leaning in.
Well, yeah, basically.
Or leaning back.
Yeah, yep. And, it's unfortunate. They all talk about transparency, and you heard in the video, he said he'd be willing to meet with me and well, you don't have to meet with us. Just let everybody see what you're talking about.
We're here.
We're here now. Nothing to meet about. What are you going to tell me in private that you're not going to tell the rest of the people?
What was your wife's initial reaction when you got back home, or when she called you? What was her initial her gut instinct?
Well, my wife called me on the phone, and I was in the middle of a meeting with my slate, political campaign meeting, and she had told me what happened, and she was flustered, and she wasn't mad. She was nervous.
Uh-huh.
It scared her, but not like she felt that it was a threat. She was just upset that it happened. She felt that her rights as a taxpayer, as a parent, were infringed upon. And they were. And the outcry from people on social media, because I did make a post, I did share it with you. And if you wanted to see it, my social media name is J-Man. And go to it. And somebody's, I've made this public for people to see.
We'll share it. George, did you want to chime in?
I just wanted to say, from an audio perspective, it's plainly obvious she's not making any sort of disruption whatsoever. When you do hear her speak, she's right next to the camera, and she's not speaking very loudly, and you can hear very clearly. If there was anything going on there, even a rustling of the camera, you would have heard it.
That's right.
So this is just somebody watching a public meeting with a camera,
and you're allowed.
Completely legit.
You're allowed. That's Superintendent Tim Arnold, the District 92 in Homer Glen, in the village of Homer Glen. You get that kind of treatment all for $204,000 a year plus $32,000 in retirement benefits. So for $236,000, that's what the parents get to put up with.
Unbelievable. Steve, you would never tolerate that in your meetings, your government meetings, right? Could you imagine if someone on your board, and you're the majority leader, if someone on your board went up and brushed up against a constituent and blocked them from the meeting?
If they did, I'd ask them to retire.
That's right.
Actually, if they did retire, I'd tell them you're going to be terminated. And then we'd have to argue because they wouldn't quit, but we would go at it. That's totally not acceptable.
No.
No matter what, it's never acceptable.
And Mark, if I could add, what I think this comes down to is that our group of parents that have stood up over the past 2 years and decided to run for these school boards, a lot of people may or may not realize the school boards hire the superintendents.
That's right.
Or they fire them. These guys and these people that have been pushing this woke agenda on our children, okay, they're fighting for their lives right now. And, that school district, right now, we pay 15 in 2019. The cost of the student to go to that district was $15,345 a year for K through 8. Now in 2022, it is up at $20,000, $461 for a K through 8 school. These guys, the corruption, it's got to come to an end.
Mark, while I was telling you on break, I went there to speak about the taxes going up so high. And I'm in a room. And in the room, they got a PowerPoint going on talking about how every kid that graduates from that school becomes a good global citizen of the world. So now I didn't even talk about the taxes. I just went in there and said the globalists are our enemy. And you're teaching our kids to be part of that? How dare you? Well, that school superintendent, I pray to God our people get in and they fire him.
He does need to be fired. It is outrageous. Has there been any statement from the school board as to his behavior, which is completely inappropriate?
From what I understand, numerous people that had witnessed, that have seen the video, have called the school and asked him to make an apology. He made a public statement later that he tried to distract someone that was disrupting the crowd by video recording. Or I'd have to look back at the video for the terminology. So when I made my post, I made him aware that my wife will no longer be anywhere without me where he's present.
So this is what the left does. And in my opening segment at 7:05, I talk about the wokeness that people are getting fired from their jobs. They're being terminated, canceled, labeled racist, white supremacist for being a Republican, for being a Trump Republican. It is outrageous. And the fact that they want to turn this back on you, right? This isn't about them. This is about you. You provoked. This is your fault. You were disrupting. Since when does holding up your cell phone and taking video, since when is that disrupting?
Without making a sound.
Yeah.
Never. You know what I was going to tell you? You know what they do? We go in there and complain about something, so they say we're bullying them because they want to teach our kid globalism, or they want to have a pledge of allegiance not to the United States of America, or they want to raise our taxes. And then when we go there and bitch at them, they turn around and say they're martyrs, and how they treated me so bad. So there are two things: a bully and then a martyr. After you catch them at it.
That's right, Jay. The superintendent must be worried because of the school board races. This is only a reaction from someone that's worried.
I would think so. I would be if I were him.
I guess it shouldn't be shocking, but Steve, I know you have other stories. Jay, you've got others. I'm sure we could blow up the phone lines with people that have had similar stories.
Probably. In fact, people have been blowing up my private messenger after I made the post for my wife and put it out there. As to their dealings with the superintendent. In fact, numerous people have contacted me that decided to homeschool their children because of that particular superintendent.
Well, God bless your wife, Jay, because you don't expect that going into a meeting with your superintendent. And it's unacceptable, but the left has made this acceptable. And it's time for all of us collectively to stand up, because when we stand up, they stand down. I'm a big fan of that saying. And coming up next, we're going to have a couple of school board candidates call in, because I think this is ground zero. Yeah. And Governor Pritzker has gone on the attack. Last Tuesday, he went on the attack during a press conference going after conservative school board candidates and conservative organizations. Like your organization, like Shannon Adcock's organization, Awake Illinois. They're in his crosshairs. You know why? He's afraid. We're going to continue this conversation. You're listening to Mark My Words. We'll be right back.
Make sure that you never miss a day of Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson when you subscribe to the Chicago's Morning Answer podcast, presented by Signature Bank. Listen to the entire show each day on demand with limited commercial breaks. You can subscribe today for free at 560theanswer.com and click on podcasts, or search for Chicago's Morning Answer on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Corsetti,
Fox News. Secretary of State Antony Blinken confronted an unapologetic Chinese foreign minister for his country's use of a spy balloon over U.S. airspace earlier this month.
Secretary Blinken met with the foreign minister, Wang Yi. Yi called the U.S. response to the spy craft, quote, absurd and hysterical. Wang Yi pointed out China deplores it and strongly protests it.
Fox's David Spunt. Meanwhile, an arrest has been made in the Saturday night killing of a Philadelphia area police officer during an attempted carjacking.
18-year-old Miles Pfeffer was arrested Sunday morning for the shooting death of Temple University police officer Christopher Fitzgerald. Pfeffer allegedly shot Fitzgerald in the head during an incident near campus Saturday night before reportedly robbing the officer after he was wounded. Pfeffer faces several charges, including murder and murder of a law enforcement officer, as well as robbery and carjacking.
Fox's Kevin Uretsky. America is listening to Fox News.
Hi, it's Amy. Big news. Mike Lindell and MyPillow are launching the MyPillow 2.0. When Mike invented MyPillow, it had everything you could ever want in a pillow. Now, nearly 20 years later, he discovered a new technology that makes MyPillow even better. The MyPillow 2.0 has the patented adjustable fill of the original MyPillow, and now with the brand new fabric that is made with a temperature-regulating thread. The softest, smoothest, and coolest pillow you will ever own. Great news on the MyPillow 2.0. It's now buy one, get one free with promo code Amy. The MyPillow 2.0 is machine washable and dryable. MyPillow 2.0 with its temperature regulating technology is 100% made in America and comes with a 10-year warranty and a 60-day money-back guarantee. Just go to MyPillow.com and enter promo code Amy to receive the MyPillow 2.0 buy one, get one free offer. And just when you thought MyPillow couldn't get any better, MyPillow 2.0 gives you the best sleep ever. Don't forget promo code Amy or call 800-489-0201 to get your MyPillow 2.0 now.
When you're serious about your concealed carry training and education and are ready to learn from an active police officer with a teaching degree, check out Illinois Concealed Carry Training in Midlothian. You'll learn safe, responsible firearm use, home defense planning, conflict avoidance, situational awareness, and how to remain physically, morally, and financially safe in the event you must use your firearm in self-defense or the defense of another. Weekday and weekend classes available.
I'm Sergeant Gary Carr, police firearms trainer and the owner of Illinois Concealed Carry Training. We'll arm you with what really counts: knowledge and training. All concealed carry curriculums are not created equal. This may be the single most important decision you'll ever make for yourself and your loved ones. Choose between 3 and 16-hour classes that are available both weekdays and weekends. We are your one-stop for concealed carry classes, fingerprints, and legal defense plans.
Register for a class today and get 10% off class fees with promo code AM560. Visit IllinoisConcealedCarry.com. That's IllinoisConcealedCarry.com.
This is Hugh Hewitt for townhall.com. Quote, anti-Catholic bigotry appears to be festering in the FBI, and the Bureau is treating Catholics as potential terrorists because of their beliefs, close quote. This startling charge was leveled by 20 state attorneys general in a letter to Attorney General Merrick Garland and FBI Director Christopher Wray after a memo from the FBI's Richmond field office came to light. The memo was withdrawn amid a storm of criticism, but it warned of extremists being drawn into, quote, radical traditionalist, close quote, Roman Catholic organizations known for their love of the Latin Mass. This is an urgent opportunity for Wray to address the growing distrust of the FBI. He must know blanket denials of partisan behavior by the Bureau's staff won't convince much of the country. Quality control has obviously slipped, and Wray must bring hammers down on those ideological outliers and political partisans operating inside the Bureau. Congress should give Wray the power to do just that. The erosion of trust in the FBI is at a crisis level, and Director Wray must do more than express regret.
A great smile can make you feel happy and confident. So when you consciously conserve your teeth, that glowing smile will show through. At Best Dental Group, Doctors Economos, Guevalis, and their staff are ready to help you create that perfect look or maintain the one you have now. Along with general dentistry, Best Dental Group is a multidisciplined practice with an orthodontist, periodontist, and prosthetic specialists on site. They use the newest breakthroughs in dental technology, such as titanium implants, Invisalign clear braces, and laser treatments. Don't let fear get in the way. They can recommend sedation to make your experience as comfortable as possible. Best Dental Group is located in historic downtown Bartlett and is a multilingual office. Call 630-830-4930. That's 630-830-4930. Or visit bestdental.org. Best Dental Group, sharing your conservative values and helping you to conserve your teeth.
We now return to Mark My Words with Mark Vargas on AM 560. The Answer. Here's Mark Vargas.
And welcome back to Mark My Words. I am your host, Mark Vargas, and we've got two very special guests here in studio, Steve Balich and Jay Roti, but we're going to take a pause because we've been talking about the importance of school board races, and it's my honor to welcome a school board candidate, Amy Erkenswick, school board candidate for Wheaton District 200. Amy, welcome to Mark My Words. How are you?
Hi, Mark. I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well, and again, it's an honor to have you on the show. Just wanted to ask you a couple of questions. What made you want to run for school board? This is ground zero right now.
You are not wrong. So really what made me want to run is over the summer, I started really paying attention to what was going on with our school board and just starting to really have my eyes opened about the fact that they're really not listening to the parents. They're not even listening to the teachers. There's so much lack of transparency going on here in CUSD 200. And, it's really like a closed circuit with the school board. And they really don't seem to identify the issues or want to talk about them. So I thought to myself, I've got 5 kids. We've been in the district for 9 years already. I've got 12 years to go because I've got a kindergartner. And I'm like, what can I really do? What if they're not going to listen to the parents? What can I do? And I thought, well, gosh, I'll just run for school board because that seems to be, the only way that we can somehow make a difference. I am running with a slate of other candidates, and we're really just about ensuring an excellent education for our kids. Not just ours, obviously every kid in the district, but it is wild out there. I'll tell you, it is a battlefield.
It is a battlefield. And where do you get your inspiration from? Because this is really tough stuff. And I know that the candidates and heads of these organizations like Shannon and so many others, and I've got Jay and Steve here in studio with me. Where do you get your inspiration when they're just lobbing arrows in your direction? Sometimes it's hard to keep moving forward.
You know what? This experience has been so incredible. It's very polarized. It's like you've got all these people that are so hate-filled, but then the people that have come around us have been outrageously wonderful. I've never seen so many people with, a common goal who just really care about our kids and our students. And it has been so encouraging. We have an incredible team behind us. Who are, we've got sign placement volunteers. We have mailing volunteers. We've got this incredible person who's been putting our signs up for us, 4x4 signs. My inspiration is really coming from knowing that people are on our side and we're fighting on the right side of the barricade.
That's absolutely right. How can we support you, Amy, and your slate? What can we do?
Yeah, absolutely. What would be wonderful is just combating, the misinformation and the negativity with just total positivity. What we're really committed to is to keeping our energy up and to maintaining positivity. We're not going to be the ones who sling mud, like everybody else seems to be doing. We want to make sure our kids are safe and protected and getting a great education. And here in Wheaton 200, we've been on a downslide for ages now. We're at less than 50% proficiency in reading and in math. So, this is something our district currently doesn't even recognize. So really just combating negative information would be wonderful, and coming alongside us and supporting us. Can I drop the names of my teammates? I'd really love to do that so that everyone just gets supported. Yeah, so here in CUSD 200, we have 4 seats coming available. One is a 2-year seat, and we have a wonderful, wonderful woman, Kimberly Hobbs, running for that position. She's super engaged in the school district. She's got 7 children. She is a kind, wise, discerning woman. She's wonderful. So she's running for the 2-year seat, and she will be the top name on the ballot, woohoo, against only one other candidate. And then the three of us left on the slate are running for the 4-year terms. So me, Amy Erkenswick, and I'm position number 2 on the ballot. Then we've got Spencer Garrett. He is a father of 5 in the district, and he is just a phenomenal human being. He's running for a 4-year spot, and he's ballot position number 3. And then we've got David Somer, who is just, this family is incredible. They've got 9 children. They're the kindest, most generous humans you could imagine. A beautiful, beautiful family, and just really, really committed to education. So David Somer is ballot position number 5. We just really need, to stay positive, because you are not wrong about this coordinated campaign. It is happening right here in our town. I've never honestly seen so many people behaving badly. But again, like I said, we're committed to staying positive. We're committed to, getting our platform out there and just really focusing on what matters, which is, decency.
That's right.
And the kids, and making sure that we're pouring value into our district.
That's right. We've got about 20 seconds. Jay, did you have something real quick?
Yeah, real quick. Amy, you say you got 4 positions. One's going to be a 2-year term, so someone's going to be filling someone that had left. If your slate wins, you guys are going to have the majority. Am I correct?
That would be accurate, yes.
That would be accurate.
Great.
That's right. That's exactly what we need.
That's what it's all about.
That's the secret. And I learned tonight, and this is my fault, Amy, that school board can hire and fire the superintendent. So, man, this is really, really important. Amy Birkenswick, school board candidate, Wheaton District 200 with their slate. Check them out. Amy, thanks so much for joining me.
Yes, thank you. And if you want to visit our website, it's parentsforcusd200children.com.
Beautiful. Amy, thank you so much. We're going to have another school board candidate calling up next, and then we're going to finish up the show with Steve and Jay. We'll be right back.
We all want to eat healthy, but have you ever read the ingredients list off of your favorite snack? Between the hard-to-pronounce ingredients and man-made additives, it's difficult to find anything made from real, natural ingredients. Even some of my favorite organic snacks have ingredients I haven't heard of. At Balance of Nature, we know the value of real nutrition that can only be found in real food. That's why the only things you'll find on our ingredients list are real whole fruits and vegetables. No additives, fillers, or artificial ingredients of any kind. Balance of Nature is the best whole fruit and vegetable product on the market, delivering your body everything it needs to function at its very best. Eat better and feel better. Start your journey to better health. Call 1-800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com to get free shipping. And don't forget to get 35% off your first preferred order by using discount code CHICAGO.
When your home or business has an insurance claim, the next step is very important. The claim process with insurance can be tedious, hard to understand, and difficult to navigate. You need someone working for you. You need a licensed claim adjuster. Why? The insurance company will send out their inspectors that work for them, get paid by them, and represent them, not you.
This is Dan Lights from Crosscom. We inspect your property, file your claim, negotiate the damages, and maximize your settlement with your insurance company. If we complete the repairs approved by your insurance company, our service is free. Crosscom Public Adjusters has turned denied claims into approved claims. We've also increased insurance claims anywhere from 23 to 1,000%. We are licensed by the Department of Insurance and work in Illinois, Northwest Indiana, and Southern Wisconsin. Crosscom Public Adjusters, 630-871-5500. Online at crosscominc.com. That's crosscominc.com. Crosscom, building trust for over 20 years.
Have you been struggling to find an easy, safe, and secure document scanning solution for Salesforce.com, Microsoft 365, SharePoint, or OnBase by Highland? Your struggle is now over, and it's time to get your documents and operations into the 21st century. With IoT Smart Connected Scanning, it's easy to turn physical paper into digital documents and have them directly uploaded to the cloud with IoT Smart Connected Scanning from IDT. And you don't need a degree in computing or IT to make it happen. Using QR code technology uniquely configured for your specific business, anyone can set the IoT Smart Connected Scanning device up in 5 minutes or less, saving your organization money and valuable time. Remote employees can even capture documents and send them safely and seamlessly. Organize documents efficiently and securely with IoT Smart Connected Scanning from IDT. To see a demo or to order now, go to ready4idt.com. That's ready4idt.com. Use promo code SMART and receive 10% off your order. IDT, putting paper in its place.
Now, more of Mark My Words with Mark Vargas on AM 560. The Answer.
And welcome back to Mark My Words. I am your host, Mark Vargas, and I've got two very special guests, Jay Roti and Steve Balich, two gentlemen who need no introduction. But guys, we're going to go. We've got another school board candidate because it's so important. This is ground zero. We're going to welcome live on the line Tom Chavez, school board candidate for Elmhurst District 205. Tom, welcome to Mark My Words. How are you?
Hi, I'm fine. Thank you for having me.
Listen, Tom, it's my honor. And, for starters, just tell us what made you decide to run for school board?
Well, I said this story over and over again, but I'll say it again. We moved here from the Lakeview neighborhood in Chicago when my oldest was about ready to go into first grade. And, like a lot of parents, we moved here. We decided, our decision was we're either going to stay in the city and put our kids in private school or we're going to move to a suburb that has an excellent school system. And so we chose Elmhurst. And at the time, it was a top tier school district. And I have to say that, our experience in District 205 has been, for the most part, very good. And I've had, unlike a lot of some board candidates, I've had the opportunity to follow my kids K through 12 through the district and see the changes. I have a college grad, I have a junior at Kansas, and then my son's a senior at York High School. And what I tell people is I've noticed in recent years a change in academics, right? So when my daughters were in high school, they had homework, they had final exams, they had rigor, and all of that has been pulled out of the equation. I see a difference with my son. My daughters, I'd have to go in the room at night and say, you got to go to bed, close your laptop, go to bed, you have school in the morning. My son, it's the opposite, right? And so you start looking at things like test scores, and you see a notable drop. Elmhurst District 205, where we've had excellence for years, we now see half the students are below grade level. And then you start asking the reasons why. And you look at communications from the school, that if parents read them, you start to connect the dots. I point to a email from the district last year where the principal talks about celebrating passing rates, the highest in 5 years. And in the same email, he says, one of the things we've done is eliminate final exams. So you see things being pulled out of the curriculum, out of the day-to-day rigor in school, no homework, retaking tests, no final exams, and then you start to say, well, why are test scores falling? And it's not the teacher's fault. It's really the administration's fault for allowing these things to happen. You're asking the teachers to provide excellence, but then you're taking away the tools like tests and homework, right? The policies have changed, and it gets harder for the teachers to produce good results. So the reason I'm running for school board is I've seen as a parent what's happening here in District 205, and I want to see excellence return. And for years, we've had, parts of different precincts in the district, different parts of the school district where, kids have always been below the rest of the district. Conrad Fisher on the north side, Churchville, test scores have always been lower than they are at Sandburg or at Bryan or at, some of the other grade schools. And now you're seeing, I like to break it out into like numbers, right? Raw numbers. Okay. We have, I think, according to the Illinois State Board of Education, about 8,100 students in District 205, something like that, right? When you have half of the students that are testing below grade level, not meeting the proficiency is not excellence. Proficiency is meeting the bare minimum requirement, right? To show that you're competent in math and reading. When you have half of your students in Elmhurst, not able to do that, that's 4,000 kids. Just, when you think about the magnitude of that, it's frightening, right? You have 4,000 kids in a district that once was one of the top school districts in the state of Illinois. You have 4,000 kids who can't do math or read at grade level. And these aren't just the kids from, certain precincts of the district where grades have always, or, proficiency has always been low. It is district-wide, right? And so when you look at our school district and how they responded to it, as I've looked into the information, what you notice is this has been going on for years. And a lot of parents whose kids are doing fine, their kids go to school, come home, their scores are pretty good. They don't recognize it. They don't notice it. They don't see the drop because their kids are fine. But as a parent and as a person in the community who cares about everyone in the community, including the kids on the north side of town where test scores have been low historically, right? When the school district is spending about $17,000 per student, including at Conrad and Churchville, don't they all deserve an opportunity to learn? And where is, when you look at the school district and you look at the response to this, there hasn't been any. The school district, as a matter of fact, when the test scores came out in October, the school district put out a PR piece that said we're exemplary and commendable and that we should be celebrating these test scores. And I went to the school board meeting and I said, hey, look, guys, 65 to 69% is failure or is a D, right? We're below that, which is an F, and you're telling parents we should be celebrating these outcomes, these low test scores.
It's unbelievable. This guy sounds like he's from the Illinois GOP, talking about all the losses we had in the midterm election. Very brief. We got about 30 seconds, Tom, and I could listen to you all day long, and I can see Steve and Jay here in studio nodding to everything that you're saying. Where can we get information about your campaign?
You can get information about my campaign at my website, Tom Chavez for D205.com.
Tom Chavez. An honor to have you on the show, Tom. God bless you, and we'll be following your race.
Thank you.
Thank you. Jay, Steve, we got about 20 seconds. Steve?
Well, I think all I can say is that Nikita Khrushchev in 1950-something, I don't remember the exact year, took a shoe off and pounded and said, give me your children and I'll take you without firing a shot. And Nikita Khrushchev, for people that don't know, was premier. That means president of Russia at the time. And guess what? They infiltrated our schools and they're taking it without a shot.
That's it. We'll be right back.
Are you living with pain? There's absolutely no reason to suffer. Get your life back now. If your pain is acute, chronic, or you're recovering from an injury, let the healing begin. The Regenerative Medicine Centers of America offers treatment that is non-invasive, a natural way with no injections, surgery, medicines, or side effects. It's used by professional sports teams and some of the largest medical facilities in the nation. It stimulates your body's healing powers. It's FDA approved and safe. The technology has been around for over 20 years. The Regenerative Medicine Centers of America offers this incredible treatment. Get ready to write down the phone number. For any kind of acute or chronic pain, this is what you need to check out. This is natural pain management that works. Here's the number, 847-242-1326. Make the call, 847-242-1326. The Regenerative Medicine Centers of America is simply effective and life-changing.
There's real money in your office. You have to just call Richard. 312-RICHARD. 312-742-4273. Just Call Richard buys office telephones, telephone headsets, unused toner, developer, staples, printer, and fax supplies. Just call Richard. Just Call Richard also buys copiers and plotters. If you're updating or renovating your office or you're shutting down an office, Just Call Richard will give you a free asset recovery valuation. Don't worry about disposal or recycling. Sell to Richard, make money, and make it easier on yourself. Office telephones, telephone headsets, unused toner, developers, staples, printer and fax supplies, copiers and plotters. If you're not sure about your items, then just call Richard and ask. 312-742-4273. For years, the best place to sell your office items is Just Call Richard. 312-RICHARD.
You're listening to Mark My Words with Mark Vargas on AM 560. Once again, here's your host, Mark Vargas.
And welcome back. We're in fighting mode here as we get ready for school board races coming up. And I've got two special guests who have joined me this full hour. Steve Balich, a gentleman who needs no introduction, and Jay Roti. Just got a couple of minutes left. Jay, over to you. Your thoughts after hearing these two incredible school board candidates.
Was it Tom? Was that the last candidate?
Tom, that's right.
$17,000 a year. Now, I hope that Tom has been able to find some like-minded parents to run with him, because there's probably 3 positions up, and the power is in numbers. running alone, especially for a position like school board, can be rough. So I hope that if he knows anybody, he's reaching out to him. You know, we talked about the school district out by us, and this particular superintendent, you know, in 3 years, the cost per student has gone up 33%. And after Tom had spoke, and we're seeing these prices. I mean, our area isn't the only area to be hit with this. This is out of control. You know, I went to parochial school, and my father as well when he went to high school. One of the best parochial schools right now is St. Ignatius, off of, right off of Roosevelt there, and they're about $20,000 a year for high school, college prep, elite. Let's say that. And we're paying that for K through 8 in some of these schools. It's ridiculous.
With test scores just dropping like a rock.
The test scores at this district, in our district, at this 92, where the Tim Arnold, Superintendent Arnold, did that to my wife. His test scores during his reign there in 2019, just for algebra, they had 36% passing. In 2022, they're at 23% for algebra. And yet, we're paying this man $236,000 a year.
Pump those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers.
Those are rookie numbers. It is incredible. Jay, God bless you. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you for having us.
Steve, Lincoln Day dinner. Want to remind everyone, February 25th, 6 p.m.
Exactly. I hope everyone comes out because the Homer Republicans is backing all these people for school board, and it costs a lot of money to run an office and get all the mail out and all the rest of it, but we need everyone to help out, and that's how we win. My phone number is 815-557-7196. 815-557-7196. You can call me any time of the day or the night, even 3 o'clock in the morning. I don't care. But I need to get everybody. If you can't come, please call me up or look on a website or whatever. And because Mark's going to be putting the information up, send a donation if you can't come.
That's right.
Because we need to raise money for this thing because there's a lot of expense. And it don't go away after this. Remember, There's another election coming up again. This stuff is every cycle. So we got to continue. We can't give up. We have to keep fighting. And Homer Township Republicans will. And all I can say is, God bless all these people running for school board. I know Mark's looking at me and he's thinking, uh-oh. No. Go ahead, Mark.
Listen, I'm just saying it's great to have both of you in studio tonight, and we've covered a lot of ground, and we'll post the event coming up. But thank you guys for what you do in Homer Township, for the Republican organization, for the community. God bless all of our school board candidates. I couldn't have said it any better than that, Steve. And that's a great way to end tonight's show. So God bless you. God bless all of our listeners, and may God bless the United States of America. Thank you, good night, and we'll see you next week.
No matter the season in Chicago, you can always let the light shine into your home. Wouldn't it be nice?